Hi everyone, my name is Michael Diaz and I will be your facilitator for today's AI interview prep module and mini activity using Verve.AI. Now, I'm really excited to tell you a little more about Verve.AI as it is a new and exciting platform where users could create and design AI mock interviews to help them prepare for their real interview days. So it's very exciting. I'm going to walk through a little more of Verve AI's capabilities and really just show you the value that it could bring to your classroom of students for any opportunity that they might want to apply to in the future. Um, I'll go over, more of these details, but something that's really cool and what I really love about this platform is the ability for users to specify what company and what specific role they aim to apply to in the future so that the AI mock interviews can really integrate some of those more specific questions that they would actually ask them on interview day. So before we get into that, I just want to share a little more about what you can expect in this video and how it will be structured. So first, I'm going to begin by um, providing an introduction to Verve AI, right? So get a little more acquainted with Verve AI, its capabilities, what value it could bring to your students, examining how co-intelligence plays into a platform like this, and maybe some limitations. Next, I'm going to move on to show you what a final product should look like. So, all of you are going to have the opportunity to complete this activity on your own. We have an example that you can use, but we always recommend that you personalize this activity for yourselves. So you'll have the opportunity to either use the example that we provide for this activity of the interviewee, or you can select a company and a role that you would actually apply to in the future and use that to personalize this activity. So I'm going to show you the final product, what it would look like. It's going to be an interview report based off of your AI mock interview, where essentially it outlines your strengths, any weaknesses, what you can do to improve in the future. Next, I'm going to go through a very detailed step-by-step guide on how to complete this AI mock interview on Verve AI activity on your own. So, of course, we have all the steps outlined on our Canvas course, but I'm going to go through each step one by one so that you all are on the same page and I can answer any of your questions through this video. And then lastly, this video is going to end by me telling you how you can all submit your discussion post to gain credit for completing this activity and module. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, perfect. So we're all here on the Canvas course, and as you can see, I'm under the Introduction to AI-Powered Interview Prep tab on the modules list. And today we're talking about Verve. So what is Verve? Verve is an AI-powered interview preparation tool that helps you practice and simulate job interviews using a AI agent. So it really helps to mimic that real life um, interview day setting when you're actually one-on-one with an interviewer and have to answer some of these more complex questions based off your experience. So with Verve and in this mini activity, you'll be able to practice common behavioral interview questions that are asked. Again, simulate job-specific interviews. That's the really big value that Verve provides, is the ability to specifically tailor AI mock interviews based off of roles and companies at those roles that are from. So, and then you get AI generated feedback to help you improve. Now, why I really like Verve AI is from my own personal experience, I know how challenging it could be to practice interviewing on your own and essentially talking to yourself, trying to mimic an interview. As you'll see when we kind of demo how the interview process works on Verve.AI, you'll really see how it changes the game in um, taking it to the next level, right? Actually seeing, even though it's an AI agent face or figure, it speaks back to you. It's very dynamic. It allows for a dynamic chat and a dynamic flow. And it takes it to another level where users are actually put into um, almost realistic interview day setting. And so I think that really helps with um, enhancing their interview prep. Now, why use AI for interview prep? So, like I just mentioned, many students don't get the chance to practice for interviews until it's too late. And, you know, Verve gives the tools to practice early and often. Again, you receive very detailed feedback. You build confidence by rehearsing in a realistic setting, right? I can't tell you how many times I'm practicing mock interviews and I'm talking to myself at a computer screen. And so it just doesn't make it as engaging as it is with Verve. And yeah, so you learn through feedback and reflection. It's not just about memorizing what's on a specific flashcard. What answer do I have preset for this question? It's very dynamic and it makes you think on the spot. And so, we talk about co-intelligence. How does that play into a Verve here? So, you know, Verve is your guide. Verve guides the direction of your interview by choosing your company and role. Um, you are reviewing and adjusting AI generated responses. You are practicing your answers and applying that feedback. So, really, this is a co intelligence process, right? AI supports your growth. AI is the one asking you these questions and engaging in a dynamic chat with you. But ultimately, it's up to you, and it's your job to provide answers to the questions that it asks you. It's merely, in this case, setting up an environment for you to practice your interviews in a much more realistic setting. And so we talked about what we'll use it for. So the strengths is the AI generated feedback, realistic mock interviews, helps you practice structure like the STAR method, and encourages self reflection. So I think the only limitations with Verve is the free version. I think it has a limited amount of interview sessions. So that's, I'd say, the only limitation. But now that we know a little more about Verve, kind of the value that it provides for us all and maybe even for your students, let's go ahead and take a look at a final product, which is a sample interview report based off of a very quick interview that I conducted with myself so I can learn more about my strengths and weaknesses. Okay, perfect. So we're now moving on to what a final product should look like. And as you can see, I'm logged into my Verve.AI account and I just did a very rough draft interview. As you can see, the duration here was only about 6 minutes for this behavioral interview. And I just did a really quick run through just to show you what your final product will look like. And you're looking at this. So this is your post AI mock interview report. And so as you can see here, I used the example that we are using for this mini activity, which is the persona of someone who is applying for a teacher position at Google. So I completed this interview, and you can see here, based off the analytics and interview feedback, that I have some work to do. So for the analytics, you can review how relevant my answers were on a score of 1 through 10. So you can also see the accuracy of my answers, 7 out of 10, and clarity. If you look through the interview feedback, it's much more specific. And this is really where students get the value out of a platform like this. So based off of the interview, I learned that what I did right this time was demonstrating adaptability by describing a situation where lessons plans were changed for ESL students. What I could improve on is the lack of specific details on the original lesson plans and the exact changes made. What are the specific action items to help me move forward? Prepare detailed examples of past lesson plans and the modifications made for different student needs. Practice elaborating on challenges faced and the specific strategies used to overcome them. And you can even scroll down to review a more detailed interview summary here, or even by each question. So as you can see, the analytics on this post-interview report are so detailed and so helpful for a user. Like if you're a student, or if I was, me when I was practicing interviews on my own and talking to myself, like I'm not going to have access to this full-length report of my performance. It's really based off of um, did I stumble on certain words? Did I say the answer that I had in mind? Here, again, it's very specific and it allows for self-reflection rather than depending on uh, memorizing answers based on a note card. So again, this is what your final product should look like, this final interview report. And now that we have a good understanding of what we can expect for our final product, let's go ahead and move forward with a detailed step-by-step guide on how you all can complete this AI mock interview for yourselves. Okay, perfect. So we're ready to get started with a step-by-step guide activity. And so as you can see here, I'm on our Canvas page on the practice a job interview with Verve. And here you'll find all of the steps required to complete this activity. So step one is going to be creating a Verve account. So please go ahead and click on this link that's pasted in the instructions and navigate to the Verve website. Once you are at the website, we are going to go ahead and click on Start for Free. So once you click on the website, you should see this screen. We're going to go ahead and click on Start for Free here. And of course, I've already logged into my account. I've created a new account. So what I want to do is give you the time to go ahead and create that account with your email or active Google account and confirm your email to activate the account. So please return to this video once you've created an account and verified any emails and you are at this dashboard or you're already inside your Verve account. Please return to this video once that's done. Okay, great. So you all should have completed step one, which is creating a Verve account. So you should all be logged in. And now what we're going to do is begin selecting your interview steps. Okay, so I just went ahead and created a new just so we're on the same page. So let's go ahead and take a look back on our steps. So we've logged in and we're now at the screen where it says these two options here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on I have an upcoming interview. So now we're going to go ahead and get ready for our interview. And if we took a look back here on our steps, we are going to select our company and our roles. So again, I want to reiterate, we have the example provided of someone who wants to apply for a teacher role at Google. So this is the example that we're providing. Of course, if you want to personalize this mini activity, and tailor it to a real role that you would want to apply to at a specific company in the future, we do recommend this just so it's more engaging for you all. But that is optional. So, you'll have the, if, they'll have the opportunity to, maybe you want to be, an engineer at some point at Cisco, and you have your resume already ready, you can go ahead and select that role in that company, and then you'll be able to submit your own personal resume to make it much more tailored to your experience. So I'm going to go ahead and select company, Google, and then the role of teacher on Verve.AI. So here for company, I'm going to search up Google. For role, I'm going to search up teacher, specifically the preschool, elementary, middle, and high school. So I'm going to give you all the opportunity to select the company and the role that you will be choosing to complete your mini activity in. And please return to this video once you've selected your company and your role. Okay, perfect. So you all should have completed your company and role. And now we're moving on to our next step, which is selecting the following tools. So it says here that we need to select these 4 interview tools on our screen. So it says Interview Copilot, Question Bank, Role Specific Interview, and AI Mock Interview. Okay, perfect. So please go ahead and check these boxes, these 4 boxes, before moving along. And please return to this video once that's complete. Okay, perfect. So we all should have and move forward with this AI mock interview. So we're going to go ahead and select next now. And here you'll have the option of submitting your resume, but we're going to go ahead and select skip for now. We can go ahead and add that later. Perfect. So it's going to set everything up for us. And cool. So we should all be now on this interface with the screen displayed. I'm going to go back to the instructions here. And on this new screen, we're going to go ahead and select AI Mock. AI Mock here. Now, we're going to select behavioral questions right here. So go ahead and please, I'm going to give you the time now to catch up where I am here. So we selected AI Mock and selected behavioral questions for our question bank. So please at this point as well. Okay, great. So again, we're still working to complete our AI mock launchpad. We've selected behavioral interview for our question bank. And the second step now is to complete our persona. So we're going to select our persona right here on the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and click this and create our new persona. Now here's where you have the chance to upload your own resume. So depending on whether you're using the sample that we provided or your own, that's how you're going to upload your resume. And let's say you are using the example that we're providing. You can go ahead and select this link with our sample resume of Tom Holland. So you can go ahead and download it here if you're using our sample, or if you're using your own resume to apply to a specific role and company that you like, go ahead and submit your own personal resume. But let's go ahead and submit this resume on our persona. So this is how the AI understands who is interviewing. So how it learns a little more about our skills and what questions to ask. So I'm going to do this. And so once you upload it, you do still have to tap this drop down menu and select it. I'm not sure why, but make sure you do that. Company name, again, I'm doing the sample that we provided. So I'm going to select Google. And it's going to ask you for a company description. So since I'm using Google, which is the example, I've already provided a description of Google that you can just copy and paste onto Verve, like so. Of course, if you selected a different company, you can feel free to ask ChatGPT to give you, you know, a two-sentence description of that company. So for position, I'm using teacher again, and I am going to select this description of the teacher and just copy and paste this. And again, if you're doing a role that's different than a teacher, feel free to ask ChatGPT to provide you with a 2 or 3 sentence description of that role. And before we submit, I want to give you all the time to kind of catch up where I am now. I know that that was a lot of information. So please come back to this video once you've uploaded everything you need to create your new persona, including your resume, your company name, role name, and then the description for those two. Yes, please return here once that's complete. Okay, perfect. So you all should be here. Again, depending if you're using the example we provide or your own uh, role and company you want to apply to, this should all be complete and we're ready to click submit and create our new persona. Cool. So now you can see that our persona is located here under um, our personas list. I'm going to go back to the step-by-step guide to check where we're at. So we are now on step 4, which is the exciting part. It's practicing and getting our feedback. So here is really where we get to practice our AI mock interview. So what we're going to do is we're going to return to Verve and select AI mock. Now, what we're going to do next is for the interview domain, select general interview. So we're going to do question bank. Yeah, sorry. So we're going to select AI mock, and to create our AI mock launchpad, we're going to click these 3 steps. So again, you're going to click on behavioral interviews. You're going to select the persona that we just created. And you're going to see this is ready to launch. So once you click launch, this is going to begin your interview. As you can see here, it's 30 minutes long, and it's a dynamic interview. So please return to this video once your AI mock launchpad is ready to go, and you just need to click launch before you begin your session. Okay, so we're ready to get our AI mock interview started. I'm just going to share a little bit of what you can expect it to look like in this video. I'm going to actually launch it and start a new AI mock interview just for you all to see how it works. Something that is outlined in the steps for this mini activity is the ability to see a co-pilot that can recommend some answers to respond to specific questions. And this will be outlined once you click launch. But let's go ahead and select launch, and you can kind of just see how the interaction is between me and the interviewee, the AI interviewee. Okay, this is really cool. Let's get started. Okay, so yeah, so you'll be met with this, right? It shows you the different features you can see. So the AI interview will ask you questions. When you're ready for the next question, simply click on next question button. Um, the interview co-pilot assistant. So yeah, there's this feature here where if you click on it, it will provide you with real-time tips, feedback, and support to enhance your performance. So let's go ahead and start the interview. Again, it's going to be just very short example to show you what this feels like.
Welcome to Verve.AI mock interview. I am your interviewer today.
So
How are
cool.
you doing?
So first thing, you want to check that your audio is on. So if you see on this top right corner, my audio is currently off, so I'm going to select the default microphone and get started. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to showcase a little more about my experience and skills and learn more about this role.
Great. Let's start with this. Tell me about a time when you had to explain a complex concept to someone with limited prior knowledge, perhaps a young student. What approach did you take to ensure they understood?
Yeah, this is a great question. Um, One time when I was working as an ESL teacher, I was teaching English in a rural village of Panama, and I was teaching young students in kindergarten that had no previous knowledge of English. And so instead of using traditional lesson plans, what I did was I embraced new engaging activities outdoors that allowed them to learn in a much more entertaining and tangible way. So what I would do was I would take the students around the village. We would walk, and as we would walk, I would point out items and tell them what their names were in English. So if it was an apple at the supermarket, I would lift it up and pass it around the class so they can get a feel of what the object was. And then we would practice reciting what the name of the item was in English. Of course, kindergartners are very young, and they it takes a lot for them to be engaged in a lesson. So I moved away from a traditional written activities and made it more engaging for them by walking around the village and providing more of that tangible learning experience.
I'm interested to hear more. To give me a better understanding, could you describe the specific concept and the student's background in that situation?
Yes, the specific concept I was teaching was basic English vocabulary. The students were kindergartners in a rural Panamanian village. They had limited prior knowledge of English. Many came from homes where Spanish was their primary language, so they had little to no exposure of English before entering the classroom.
Okay, that's helpful context. Now, tell me about a situation where you had to adapt your teaching style to meet the needs of a diverse group of learners. What strategies did you use to ensure everyone was engaged in learning?
Okay, so as you can see, that was just a quick run through of completing this AI mock interview activity. And you can see that I really took advantage of that interview co-pilot because I was saying some of my experience, but there was just some aspects in which I could have benefited from providing more clarity. So that's really cool where the AI co-pilot was valuable to me during the interview. And so now I can learn more about what I can improve on. So again, that's how you get this set up. We've created our account, we've set up the persona, we've set up our AI mock launchpad, and now it's time for you all to do your own AI interviews. So I'm really excited for you all to try this out. But before you do, I'm going to close this video by providing you with some more information regarding how you can actually submit your discussion posts and earn credit for completing this activity. All right, so to close this module, to close this activity, I'm going to show you how you can submit your discussion post to earn credit for completing this module. So as you can see, I'm on the Conectado Canvas page. So we're going to go ahead and navigate to the modules tab here. And we're just going to scroll down until we see the interview prep here. So under the interview preparation tab, we're going to select reflection prompt. If you click on reflection prompt, this is going to show on your screen. So it's a discussion board where you will be asked to respond to this discussion. And in your post, include answers to these three following questions. So what you learned about how you communicate under pressure, a type of question you struggled with and how you improved, what feedback helped you the most. And we're asking 2 to 3 sentences per question just to get a sense of your personal experience with using Verve.AI. Now, again, I want to thank you all for completing this mini activity and this module with me. I hope you all learned a lot and can take some of these tools and features from Verve.AI and perhaps recommend them to some of your students who might benefit from interacting with AI generated mock interviews to assist your students in preparing for future opportunities that they want to apply to. Yes, so thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.